just gets me all giddy. A McCree, yes, please, let's go. Headshots abound.
Yeah, I'm going to giggle at that. Yes, I am a child.
We all are.
I can't help it. But yeah, this should be a very interesting map because you can roll out of the McCree, and if you take first control, awesome. You're trying to take it back as McCree becomes a problem, and then you're giving up alt charge because you're switching compositions. So we may see them just run very standard here. Now, Philadelphia Fusion has their druthers. They prefer to run a Winston variation of the 3-3.
It seems like that will be mirrored on both sides, electing to have a bit of mobility here in their lineup. That's what Winston grants you with the jump. Able to get onto the high ground, able to just leap straight into the fight. And right now, Fate, he's kind of waiting to see if there's an opening for him to go ahead and make that play, as they are currently, at least, in a standoff.
The fight over the stairs has been the first battle you see on Sanctum since the introduction of this map. But you also want to run Winston too, because Primal Rage, very good at knocking people off the ledge. The engagement does come in. Now both teams getting a lot of damage on their main tanks. Fate's the first to fall.
Yeah, Fate's just getting pinned in the corner. You can see the hesitation in his eyes. It's like asking him to run out of the trenches first. I mean, he knows it's not going to end well, and sure enough, it didn't. Tough break for Fate. Rest of the team fall back, having lost their main tank. And Fusion, they're going to get first control, so they'll be the ones who start getting the percentage.
That was the stat I was referring to, that Philadelphia wins 9% more of their team fights when they're running a Winston as opposed to running the Reinhardt. No Winston anymore in this fight as Karif beams down Sato very quickly.
There we go. Some coordination between the teammates here. Izayaki setting it up with the Discord Orb, and that allows him to melt Sato down. Now it's going to be the all-out confusion here as Philly, they're going to try and buy as much time as possible. Grab thrown into the wall. That leads to a kill on Kuki. Then, Lucio here available for the Valiant.
Kuki going out early really hurts them, and now they're trying to get back into it. Rally out from EQO, going to keep them alive. Fate's just going to still keep trying to buy some time on this point, as they did get the flip. 4% and counting up. It's a very important map for Los Angeles Valiant. One to start getting some momentum, but I believe that Philadelphia Fusion is 0-2 on Nepal this season.
Not their strongest suit, and already we're going to have the opening here. Let's see, do they get the combo? And yes, sure enough, Sato not able to get out of harm's way. And we lose EQO as well. Great focus fire coming through here from the Valiant side of things, and Fusion right now having to back off from this fight. They came so close to flipping the point hex, but it wasn't meant to be.
When we talk about Valiant's record maybe not being indicative of how good they actually are, they beat NYXL on this very Nepal map. So this is one that they got to start sneaking in. They got to ride the momentum, keep the crowd into it. I think they're really feeding off of it.
Yeah, they certainly are. As far as Fusion are concerned, though, they're going to have some ults coming online now. Self-destruct combo is possible. Carpe is going to have Grav for this next fight. And that'll be the game changer here for the Fusion. It's about finding an opening. Instant bubble, trying to get that energy. Only a squeak, though. Not too much here for Carpe to work with. He's still just going to be tickling people.
That's an enormous assassination early on, and that's what Boombox brings to this team. He's able to take out Kuki early, and now the Valiant have to try to fight a 5v6. They're going to get that tossed in. Self-destruct combo trying to come in. Does find Karif.
Oh, that's a big kill, though. A lot of the damage lost here for the Valiant. Fate going to try and buy some time. He's got Primal out, trying to hope at least, to knock people into the murder chasm, but that's not going to be the case. He stomps agilities flat, but they're traded. Boombox goes down in the meantime.
Well, trades and attrition is actually very good for the Valiant right now, as long as they don't overcommit and throw in too many ultimates, because they have control of the point, 85% and counting up. Diva's going to give them up to 90% just about, and now it's just a matter of winning one more fight. However, they did commit a ton to that. The other side of things, Philadelphia doesn't have ultimates online yet, but across the board, percentages a touch higher.
Yes, indeed, they will be getting those ults online all the quicker, and if they can keep these fights clean, it's going to be tough for the Valiant to have any real tools to work with here going into the battle. 50% on the clock now for Fusion. On the clock. I guess it is a clock. I mean, it ticks 1% per second, right? So there you go.
You're just really looking at Carpe here. He's going to have Graviton up way quicker than Karif. It can be such a defining fight. Izayaki needs to hold on to this Transcendence. Some of his Transcendences have come out at questionable times, but this is one that can really save his team.
Yeah, he's got it for now, playing it very patiently, and the focus fire is good. Sato goes down. That was Neptuno getting blown up by a self-destruct. 2 quick kills coming back, make that 3. And it's Carpe still alive here, although Karif is still in this fight as well. So the main damage dealers still able to go for the punch. That could be a big kill onto Fate. Fate does get overwhelmed in the end. That sets it up perfectly here for the Fusion.
They had to get back in because the Fusion took control of that at 91%. The Valiant need to come back into this fight, but they have to wait. Kuki needed to retreat. He dies late. Karif also falls. That is their last best hope. and now Philadelphia going to hold the gates.
Yep, just going to be keeping him at this choke point now, just trying to buy the time. We may be able to get exactly Fate with the Primal, trying to touch the point, and he does! Last possible second, but he gives his life up to do it, and that's going to be it. Philadelphia Fusion picking up the first point.
There's been a lot of talk about a lot of the players on the Valiant, and the reason why is because some of them simply die too often. As a Lucio dying 5 times on Control is a very bad omen.
And that's not shaping up too well, but still early days here, Hex. We're not going to throw in the towel just yet. Valiant certainly are not. And while the Fusion now, map point rather, for them, as far as Nepal is concerned.
I really think they needed to come out a lot hotter than that, though. They started pretty strong, and then they just started losing heroes in uncharacteristic ways. Or the cleanest of the 3-3 teams do not lose heroes in those ways, and they need to bring it back. I think this is such an important map for them to keep the energy, to keep the looseness they came out on stage with, to keep the crowd into it. But they have another stage here on Nepal to even it up.
To keep those smiles going, Hex. You got to turn those frowns.
Boombox is such a killer on these openings, and we've seen some of the best teams have Zenyatas that do this. They crush the opening kill, and that's it. You can't fight anymore. The kill early on leads to kills later, and we see it from, I guess, the Charge is a team I'd bring up, where Shu gets a lot of these opening kills, and it's such an important factor to be able to get your Zenyatta in position to launch these volleys in and get what's essentially a free kill on a peeking team.
And then you hold them at the choke. Valiant, once again, rallied up together. May try and change it up here. Boombox, once again, going for a cheeky volley. Doesn't quite find it. But they have first control now, Fusion. 14% and counting. Valiant deciding to go through the main entrance, but the high ground is occupied by Fusion. Carpe not going to be too sad about that, but it's going to be straight onto the point here. Into the melee we go. They should have an edge in terms of ultimate. Sato nearly got that Shatter online. Now he's got it. That's going to make the Valiant pause just a moment here. Kariv is behind on the grab, and that's certainly not going to help things.
The onus is on the Valiant to try to get in here. Fate's going to have Earth Shatter. They're almost going to have a couple of support ultimates up too. Agilities falls low, so they have to fall back, and the Fusion are fine to just take this boat forward.
Yeah, they're just willing to stand toe-to-toe. Rally's going to be used. That's EQO. And that hit the perfect kill once again. Agility's getting overwhelmed. CC out the window here for the Valiant. Now they're kind of getting split up. Not quite sure. Are they backing off? Are they sticking in this fight? Well, Fusion going to go ahead and make up their minds for them.
I said on the pregame show that there's a myriad of issues
I heard
for
it alone.
The Valiant, and I think they're getting out-disengaged by teams a lot. They're trying to engage in teams, and the other team gets away. But the bigger flip side of that is when they get engaged upon, they don't know how to leave. They don't have speed boost up sometimes. They don't know the angle that everybody's going to take. And now we'll see if they can come in strong.
Carpe ready to rain in death and destruction from on high. He's got the grab. Just needs to keep an eye on space and where that D-Matrix is. And we already have the kill once again on agilities. This is going to force out the trance. Huge edge now for Fusion in this following fight. The trance getting used so early is not going to help things. Space catches the grab, but it might not be enough, as we will have the shield going off. Sound barrier perfectly timed as well by Neptuno. No shock there.
Oh, the Shatter late. Kariv's on the ground, and he's going to get charged into oblivion. Kariv and Fate gone. The hope for the Valiant to take this first map, charged off the map as well.
Yeah, clean point here for the Fusion so far. Anybody alive to try and delay? Yes, there will be a contest. It's not going to last long, though. Space, he's going to get ejected into it, and this is it. Overtime down. Fate might be able to charge, but he's not going to make it. And the Philadelphia Fusion take the lead in the series, 1-0.
Well, we'll see if the Valiant can fight their way back, but it just got worse and worse as that stage went on. You see the faces of the fans not looking too happy. We'll see if the Valiant can turn those frowns upside down.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back from the break, ladies and gents. We're in a match now between the Los Angeles Valiant and the Philadelphia Fusion. Philadelphia Fusion currently up 1-0, and the Valiant still looking for an answer, Hex.
Yeah, it's been very difficult to pin down a lot of the issues of the Valiant. I guess the overarching thing, it seems like communication. And then the communication leads to not a whole team engaging on the same target, not a whole team disengaging on the same route. And when you're playing 3-3, any death you lose is brutal, and it's really hard to clutch it on the way back. You can't just have somebody go off and take down 3 kills. That's just not how 3-3 ends up working in the current meta. So it's really all about communications. When are we getting in? When are we getting out? And it does not seem like the Valiant are still on the same page there. It will be tested as our next map is Numbani.
Indeed it is, as you guys can see on your screen. Numbani, and it's going to be Philadelphia Fusion starting out on the defense, Los Angeles Valiant on the offense. You got to work together on this point, Hex. This is a tough one to crack. You've got a long way to run from spawn if you were to die, if you were to lose the fight. Oh, hi, guys. And then, you know, we're going to get into the thick of things here. Los Angeles Valiant. Time to head out. Let's see what they're capable of. It's not going to be much of a change of strategy. In fact, not at all. Fate's going to be on the Winston. No surprise to see Sato on the Winston as well, and this is the great Winston spot. You cleave him as they come out through the doorway, and you just get Primal at the end of like a minute.
That's the plan anyway, but Fate's going to go on the other side of things. He tries to get up on the jump, and he gets knocked down, so now they don't have their main tank with them. Fate's going to have to retreat, but they've lost Kareev. The win fight percentage when you lose your Zarya first is still below 10%. You just don't win fights when you lose Zarya first.
It's almost as if you've already touched on this, Hex, you know, as if there was a lack of damage in these comps.
Yes, it is.
Zarya happens to be a big source of damage.
It's not only the damage, it gives you the utility so that if your Winston jumps up, you can hit him with that protected barrier and he can't really get displaced as much. So just a tough opening shot there from the Valiant. They're not going to try the same thing twice, so at least not trying the definition of insanity. Although Fate looks like he wants to lurk around on the top down here. You can see his silhouette to the far right of your screen. He's trying it again.
Yeah, he's going to try and leap into the squishies here on the backside. He does. Nice little displacement there as well, but they're doing a good job of sticking together here, Philly Fusion. Sato with the cleave, just raking it in right now. As far as Primal is concerned, we've got the trance used out by Izayaki, but do they get anything out of this here, Valiant?
Well, they both sides use the Transcendence, but Sato's going to find the kill on Izayaki, and now there's no Discord, there's no real damage dealer. Sato's just going to go for style points. That's stylish. Agility's off the edge. There goes Space on a reset. Voluntary off the edge there. That is a hold again for Philadelphia's defense.
Turns out Sato was a magician all along.
You know, I wouldn't mind if they tried this a third time, and I know that sounds a little bit silly, but now Fate has his Primal Rage. So he can Primal up there and start knocking them off. The problem is he's rotated over there, and they've been ready for it every time. EQO with the big brain plays has been over there to bash him the moment he lands.
Now there's Space clearing the way. Sato instantly jumps back in, can't get displaced because of the bubble. Now the grab goes in, and there it is! The big plays from Fusion. Just chucking the ults in. They don't even care.
Well, the good thing for the Valiant, let's bright side this.
Okay.
They do have 4 ultimates to go, and Kuki's going to get there soon enough. Defensively, there's not a lot for them to use, so Neptuno has to be able to get to his sound barrier quick. Might be why they're trying to poke out here on the right side. Yeah, they're trying to get as much damage as they can for both Boombox and Neptuno. They know they used a lot here. On paper, this is a fight the Valiant should win.
Indeed, they should. Now, can they work together and take advantage of it? We will have the rally by Agilities to open things up. Escorting his team out onto the platform. Izayaki finds the kill on Poco to start. This is going to be a success for the Valiant, taking advantage of the ults.
Right. So in the last fight, when they got grabbed in the corner, they just held. And Fate bailed out. He didn't use anything, so they were able to get an economic advantage. Though they have to be careful here. They're trying to press the issue.
Oh, buddy. They're going to contest. They're going to contest. Sound barrier's in. This is it. Sound barrier to open. We've got Trance on Boombox. Primal used on Sato as well. He's going to be looking to knock him off the side. Doesn't quite find the targets, though. Izayaki with the Trance will slow things down, but there's the big kill once again. Kuki the first to die.
I don't think Kuki's used a sound barrier yet this game. He's got it in his pocket, but it's back at spawn. Fate's still going to try to get back in here. But again, Philadelphia is going to have a Transcendence if they even need to use it. They don't. Poco's cleaning it all up. And that economic advantage the Valiant have just squandered.
Oh, buddy.
Last push.
Oh, buddy. Carpe now. He's going to have Grav. They're not going to get through this door. That's it. 20 seconds on the clock for the Valiant. With the Grav there, they don't even need to take the fight, Philly. Just throw the Grav and let him sit there and watch as the point dwindles.
Carpe is going to be able to get to his Graviton passively. The only thing that could stop it would be a very good defense matrix, but Space tried with a big play. He was trying to get it baited out.
Yep, there it is. Nice attempt there by Space. Rinse and repeat, but Neptuno's the one to find 2 kills. There's the trade, though. Space, he may have done it. May have made it happen. May have made it possible here for the Valiant to find success on the first point in the home stretch.
They pick it up. They didn't need a whole lot more. They're able to pick up the point. I actually think this is what we need to see from the Valiant. One of the few bright spots for them throughout his entire career has been Space. I've been hyping up this guy since before he joined the Overwatch League. Now, I think he's had his wings clipped, to use the nomenclature here, because they expect him to always try to combo with Kareev. Now, this one is just pure creativity. He already tried the really cool creative Gravite, but when they're playing their best, it's when Space can just unleash himself, play his creative style, and open things up with that self-destruct, not trying to go for the big combos. Because honestly, they're not hitting their big combos anyway. Might as well let Space run wild.
No, the big combos are when they have just overwhelming ult superiority. Well, right now, as far as the Valiant are concerned, they will have agilities to kick this fight off. Rally is used. Sato getting top back up again here, but the grab on the side thrown in by Kareev. Is there going to be any follow-up here possible? Looks like finally they are able to get it done. The Valiant, the very end, will find all the kills. Poco the last alive here for Fusion, but that's not going to be for long, and they will succeed in picking up a second point. The Fusion now, they have to hold for 2 minutes 40.
Back against the wall, they just used Transcendence as well. Going to have a sound barrier coming up, as well as Carpe and EQO getting to their ultimates. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Space still has the self-destruct, and I think you just let him let it rip. Not now, of course, because he lost Kareev, but they're going to trade out. It's 5v5. Do they think those are good trades? Not anymore, they are.
Oh, buddy, he's hanging on by a thread. Sato, get the man some healing. Agility's not going to let him. But we will have a trade, and they are still making progress. And this entire time, while this battle is going on, there was a presence on the cart, so at least they got it through the choke point. Now it's stuck in the bend, and they got a little bit of time here on the Valiant side to recoup. 2 minutes on the clock.
Okay, but with Space sitting at self-destruct, I wonder if they just let it fly. I really think they've had their most success when Space plays unorthodox diva. He's just trying to be a playmaker for them because other teams aren't expecting it. Philadelphia with a huge bank of ultimates, though. Looks like they want to get aggressive on it. They're trying to charge forward. Nope, a little bit of a bait. They're trying to bait out abilities from the Valiant. Now they're just going to fall back.
I mean, if you're Izayaki at this point, you're waiting for that Carpe grab to come in.
is hiding up top. They might just try to get really aggressive with a rally up top and a bash onto it. There's the bash and ride.
Yep, there it is. The follow-up is in. The shatter perfectly timed on the Fusion side. Fate is gone. Trance has been used as well, and that's certainly them having to back off at this point. There's no surviving it, but that is some coordination there, Hex.
Really nice play. EQL went up there immediately when he noticed that no one from the Valiant was going to be able to spot him up there. Of course, we have the ability to see the outlines through the walls. But really nice play. Anytime you can win a 3-3 fight using only one ultimate, you take it.
Oh, are you going to clean grab in here? Do we have anything? The agilities rally was there, trying to delay the inevitable, but Space gets demeched, and we lose Fate as well for the Valiant. And Philadelphia Fusion still have 4, nearly 5. Sato, he's just used his shatter, and he's already up to 93% again.
I kind of feel bad for Agility sometimes because a lot of his rallies just go unused. But he's forced to use these because a lot of times Kuki is not charging Sound Barrier fast enough, or Izayaki has used Transcendence in a strange spot. So it's easy to look at Agilities and be like, he's not getting as much value out of his rallies as other people. But I think he's put in a bad spot in some of these situations where it's the only support ultimate they have. They have to try it.
Trying to use it. I mean, at least delayed it, gave them a chance, but as far as Philly are concerned now, they're working on a 6-pack. Carpe the only one left out of the party, but there's plenty to use here on the Fusion side. Should be a contest.
Oh, they were trying to get cheeky. They were going for a flank shatter, and they caught out the Reinhardt. Of course, a good bubble keeps him alive.
There's the grab. Hunter thrown out here by Sato. Sound barrier goes off as well, and there's Poco. Backline is dead for the Valiant. Izayaki dies with this trance unused as well. That's going to really make him sick, and it will be the Fusion holding in the end, denying the Valiant the 3rd point. That's next level.
That's some nightmare fuel for you.
Well, guys, we're going to be taking a quick break, and when we come back, we will see what they're capable of on the offense, the Philly Fusion.
So here we have it, Hex. Los Angeles Valiant, 2 points after a very desperate fight on the first point of this map on Numbani. Philadelphia Fusion now, we're changing sides. They're going to be on the offense, and the Valiant will be on the defense. And let's see, I mean, if you're a fan of Poco, you're a fan of the Philly Fusion, this is what you expect.
This is how you get t-shirts made with your name on them. Nerf Poco, I've got one sitting in my closet right there, and the man has been throwing in self-destructs forever. And I mean, it is kind of tragic in the 3-3 that some of these divas are beholden to wait for grab, wait for shatter, wait for the knockback, because such creative angles. These guys spend hours in practice ranges trying to find angles and where to drop it and cool stuff. And we're seeing a little bit where both of these divas have just been unleashed.
Oh, they're both capable. Poco, you're right, made his name on it, though. The bombs inspired me to hit the bombs that I did.
Oh, of
you know.
Bring it up.
Yep, there we go. You know, yeah. I approve, Hex. I approve.
Blind squirrel finds a nut. More at 7.
I found a whole lot of kills that day, actually. But let's get into it. As Philly Fusion, they are going to be allowed out through the choke point. Already a more passive attempt at holding here from the Valiant. 1 tick picked up for the Fusion, and now the Valiant decided it's time to go. Fate gonna get stunned immediately. He's dropped down to half. A good focus target here. Have to be careful with these Discord orbs, however. And Neptuno going to be the one to find the first kill in this fight. Fusion have taken the main tank out for the Valiant, but they've traded versus Sato. You lose space, though, and that can be a big deal. But Carpe goes down, and it's just out and out chaos.
Yeah, it's a bit of a brawl, but it will be a reset for Philadelphia in the end. And losing Boombox early really hurts. Now, earlier in the season when they didn't have Boombox, their numbers really struggled. They only won 39% of team fights. With Boombox, 56% of team fights. That's the impact that Boombox has on this Philadelphia team.
Just a hair over a coin flip. Fusion, got to bump those numbers up, but they're going to be working on it. That's certain. And now they do once again decide to go to the high ground here. Kariv holding that angle. He's got the edge, the advantage because he has that higher energy. Carpe, having died, is going to have to start back up at 0. And Fusion now kind of just being patient about this. Now they have the shield. D-Matrix there from Poco. Grab instantly thrown down. Excellent read from Kariv. Can he get the follows up, though? There's a great collapse coming in here from the Valiant, and they will succeed in rebuffing the attack.
All that cleave. Now, the Valiant are very comfortable on this map. Of this type of map, it's the only one they've won. They've won Numbani before, but everything else on this map type, not great. It's really interesting, though, that Philadelphia chose to run Sato on Reinhardt. Again, they're just better. They win more fights when he's on Winston, and this is a map that you've seen. You can run Winston on the offense. It's always been that way. This is actually a map that created the dive tank meta in a lot of ways because you have to get to high ground.
So many places to hold on the first point. You can see already changing up the positioning here from the Valiant, not willing to take the fight head on, instead playing off of their ult advantage. They've got 4 online. Fusion right now with the 3rd. Boombox has finally got trance. Yeah, you got to take this whole long way. This is perfect here from Sato, right? Yeah. Whole long way. Instead of just being able to leap up onto the high ground and take the fight to the Valiant, kind of has to dance onto the point.
I mean, they're going to be in good position. That bubble's down. There is no protection right now for an Earth Shatter. And there it goes. Shatter comes down. A nice bubble onto Fate is going to keep him alive.
And Space going to go for the self-destruct. Agility's trying to break that shield. It's not going to happen in time. Sound barrier thrown in now by Kuki here for the Valiant. They really are trying to win this fight now on the Valiant side. Nearly 2 ticks picked up for the Fusion. And now it's a question of who's going to crack first. The sound barrier thrown in by Neptuno, keeping his team up. No follow-up possible, and Carpe going to trade grab of his own, and that's going to lead to a kill on Fate to kick things off. Potential for a trade, but Carpe getting healed up.
Now the rally comes in too. Philadelphia's done a great job of staggering their support ultimates perfectly. Transcendence came first, Sound Barrier second. A late rally will secure it for them. Both teams threw everything they had at it. And it's going to be Philadelphia coming out on top. If they complete the map, they will take a 2-0 lead into halftime.
Let's see if the Valiant decide to fight a bit earlier here on the second point. I mean, it is the name of the game is these corners here, these angles, trying to stop the payload, trying to hide behind Fate's shield, but
it's not there in time.
We saw how it worked out for the Fusion. They lost 1 fight. Yeah, I mean, this is still an earlier challenge than what we saw.
They can still initiate here and be fine.
Yeah, Fate gonna lead the way. Bubble there to make sure that Kariv gets that energy, and Sato will fall in the end. Boombox gets sniped by Izayaki. That's perfect, and now a successful defense here for the Valiant.
Yeah, and if Izayaki continues to win these Zenyatta duels, it's going to mean very good things for the Valiant because, as I mentioned, Boombox is the heart and soul of this team, really, when it comes to damage dealing and fight win percentage. So if they can isolate him and take him out early, they're going to be in a good spot. Philadelphia has to wrap all the way around as the spawn hold was threatened, at least by Valiant, but they're just going to back up, hold their corners.
Doing a good job of running time off this clock. 2 minutes now left for the Fusion. And the Fusion gently pacing their way forward. Predatory, almost. Grab goes in, and now we have Boombox immediately with the trance. The attempt for the shatter, not going to happen. Sato is in on this as the self-destruct goes up. Nobody dies from it, though. And so far, trading tit for tat. Rallies are used on both sides. And this time the Poco, not going to find a kill. An attempt at the stun, but he was able to get the shield up in time, Fate.
Yeah, it was just going to be a remac. He was in trouble there, so he had to get a self-destruct to call down a new mech. Sometimes you get a little bonus damage on it, not going to be the case. But meanwhile, whilst this skirmish is happening, while this barroom brawl continues to throw stools at each other's back, Philadelphia's pushing the cart.
Yep, they're getting good progress here, nearly at the second point. Instantly backing up here as well as the Valiant try and poke forward. And now it's going to be the Hail Mary fight here for the Valiant. A minute left on the clock here for the Fusion. Can they stop him? Valiant with the sound barrier.
Got grab.
There's the grab, instantly thrown down on Kariv's side. They're getting brought into it, and there may be a follow-up here, and sure enough, it will be success here for the Valiant. 2 kills, and that's going to send the Fusion back to spawn. A delayed kill, yep, on Boombox. He was trying to throw himself off anyway.
Some nice patience displayed by the Valiant there to be able to hold out long enough for the sound barrier to start decaying so that you have an advantage so you can kill them through the Graviton Surge. And speaking of patience, this is a situation where Izayaki's still holding onto his Transcendence, so that's going to be useful when it comes in next because Carpe's got Graviton ready to go. 30 seconds remain, last good chance for Philadelphia to take the second checkpoint.
Now this is going to be it. Once again, standoff. Looking for a wrap though, wanting to get onto the payload itself. Agility is in danger of getting overwhelmed. Glad for his mobility there. He was able to get out of dodge. Neptuno and Boombox barely surviving, but they will get topped up. This is about finding that first opening here. Carpe hanging out on the edges, but he's so low on energy. He might as well be tickling.
He's not even trying to get energy right now. He's got to have a plan for it.
Yeah.
They're probably waiting for the engage on them first.
Oh, well, there we go. Right there. Up to 70. There's the grab on the payload. Looking for it. Izayaki decides that it's going to wear off, and there it is. The win here for the Philadelphia Fusion. Space, last one around for the Valiant along with Kuki. Both going to get cleaned up, and that will be a second point picked up for the Fusion. They're still in the running here to take the lead in this series, or extend it, rather.
I mean, patience goes the other way, too. Carpe not even using either of his shields to try to get energy, knowing he was going to use them reactionary, or to just jump in, get a giant burst of energy at once to follow up the grab. Really nice shield economy there.
Glad that we were able to catch it on screen. Well, now it's going to be the Fusion marching steadily forward. Shatter just thrown out there. No possible follow-up.
They had the Reinhardt boots up, just not quite the angle there.
Yeah, good spread there on the Valiant side, and now they gather up once again because they know there's no risk of Grav getting thrown in here anytime soon. However, Kariv has his currently. Boombox going to use his trance now, and that's going to be Kariv. Nice stagger here. There should be a follow-up with the Shatter going, and the boom. All the kills here for the Valiant. That'll reset the fight. Now it's on the Fusion here. The big ults, however, well, we do have Trance about to come online here for the Valiant. But we don't have a Grav, we don't have a Shatter, nor do we have a Self-Destruct. Philadelphia Fusion, however, in this next fight should be able to get all of those online.
It should be support ultimates and giving the Valiant the advantage. They should get all 3 online if Kuki lives through this early engagement. Meanwhile, EQO and Neptuno, the only hope for ultimates coming online. Carpe might get there. So Philadelphia would rather have a long, sustained fight here. The moment EQO gets his rally, I think he's going to slam it.
I agree. That'll be the big initiate to try and push forward. It may be possible. Fate trying to maintain that shield integrity, trying to hide in the corner here.
Patient. EQO's got it. There's the rally.
Yeah, there's the rally. Both rallies thrown out same time exactly. Space hanging on by a thread. Excellent timing from Izayaki. Keeps him alive, but that means that there's nothing to counter the grab that could come through unless Poco... I mean, this could be big. There it is, sure enough. Grab hidden, and Fate's going to fall. Agility's going to go next. Nothing there to protect them from the overwhelming damage. Space just darting in, trying to keep things alive here for the Valiant, but they're getting picked one after another. Kariv going to be the next to go down. Izayaki's at the back. Last guy here is just a little bit of time bought, and that is going to be it. The Fusion in the end will find success. 2-0 in maps so far this series.
Don't forget the Fusion's got some rabid fans out there themselves, so a nice opening salvo for them.
Solid work. Solid work. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and when we come back, we will be getting to know a little bit about this man here, Josh Hutcherson. He's on your screen.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
Valiant have been struggling to get that first win of 2019, and things aren't getting any better. In this one, they're down 2-0 to the Fusion at the half. Welcome back, everybody, to halftime. Malik here. Sorry, Brent, as per usual. And we're here with a very special guest. You might know him from the Hunger Games and Future Man. Everybody give it up for Josh Hutchinson. How you doing, Josh?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Doing great. All right, so Josh is going to help us break down the first half. But before we do that, Josh, I know you're a huge Overwatch fan.
I am.
Who's your main?
I main Orisa, and I main Ryan.
Oh,
my
Orisa
two.
Ryan.
I'm not
Just
going
like
main
me,
tank.
my man.
Let's go.
Some parody, tank parody here. All right,
Yeah.
so how did you get into the Overwatch League, man?
You know, I had a friend of mine that was a big-time player, and they loved the game, and I played. The first time I played, I was like, I'm never playing this game again. I don't like it. The second
no.
time I played, I'm hooked. I play every second I can right now.
Had to get over that beginner's hump.
Exactly.
You know, that's all it took.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, who's your favorite AL team? Your favorite Overwatch League team? You have a favorite?
I mean, I was a big Valiant fan last season. This one's been a little tough, but I'm sticking with it. Let's go.
That's
We're
right.
gonna win tonight. Come on. Let's get on that board.
That's right. Josh is in a bandwagon.
Come on, let's go.
He's a true fan. All
That's
right.
right.
Well, if you don't mind, we're going to jump into the highlights. You going to do this
Absolutely.
with us? All right, so let's jump
Yeah.
into the first half. Starting off with Kings Row, which is very entertaining. Well, no, actually, we're going with Nubani, it looks like, actually. Anything stand out to you here in map 2, Brent?
Yeah, man. It was pretty much like coming into this, both these teams, they've been looking shaky throughout the season so far. I was anticipating it to be, honestly, a bit like two potatoes just kind of like slamming into each other repeatedly. That's kind of what we saw a little bit. Like
Shade, bro, that's shade.
It was shaky from both teams. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to be disingenuous with it. It was shaky from both teams here. Philly, they were so close to losing out this map against Valiant.
They were.
I mean, to be fair to Valiant as well, they have been stepping up reasonably, but still, I'm seeing a lot of mistakes from both of these teams in terms of positioning. A lot of overextensions coming out from Sado in particular. I'm going to be calling that boy out.
Yeah, I think generally positional mistakes was kind of the name of the game on Numbani, but Valiant definitely cleaned it up. They got a lot more done. Let's take a look at some stats here. Karif going up against Carpe on that Zarya on Numbani, and Karif is actually doing really well. We have been criticizing him a fair bit.
I mean, criticizing the entire team, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But he's actually been looking really good against Carpe. Like they stack up pretty well, I would say. Although Karif is dying a lot more. However, the Valiant is also losing a lot more team fights. So, you know.
All right. Okay, so Josh, we don't want to leave you hanging here.
Thanks.
As the star of Future, man,
Yes.
we thought it'd be cool, even though your character's coming from the past, we thought it'd be
right.
cool to look into the future of the Overwatch League and see if we can find some answers to some very important questions with you, Ren, and so
Great.
you guys feel free to join in as well. So I need you guys to, put on your future hats. Give me some predictions here. First up, we've got our Stage 1 playoffs coming up pretty soon.
Yep.
It's 2 weeks off. Who do you think will be the champions of Stage 1?
I mean, I think Excelsior just is really playing and firing on all levels right now, and they have a confidence, they got a swagger, they're coming out and saying they're not going to lose a game in this whole stage, so I think they're going to take it home safely.
Okay. All right, NYXL. All right, what about you guys?
Oh, well, I'm with you. I don't need to be Tiger to know what's up in the future. This one is going to be NYXL all the way.
No, I mean, we literally had this discussion on the pre-show. I'm going with the Titans. You already know, like Vancouver Titans.
Fight me, Brendan, fight
I'm not going to fight you. I've seen how
you.
you're squaring up to Matt. I don't want to fight you at all, Zoe, but I mean, Titans, I think are going to be winning the Stage 1 playoffs.
All right. Moving along, we might have some big patch changes coming along here pretty soon. What do you think it's going to take to make the 3-3 meta disappear?
I don't know exactly, but I'm ready. I'm ready for a change, man. I want to see more Widow again. I want to see some Pharah. I missed that meta, but I'm curious to see what Baptiste does.
Okay.
What that changes, but we'll see.
All right. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think Baptiste is definitely going to have a big factor there. Like Baptiste in combination with like the McCree changes, like that's going to be some shield breaking there.
Yeah.
So I think we have some changes coming up very soon.
I don't need to say anything else. I mean, Josh as well. Zoe, you've hit the nail on the head, I think. Baptiste, coming into the game.
Right. That's all it needs to be said. All right. And now, before we let you go,
Okay.
In Future, man, you play a guy who, who's so good at video games that he's able to save the world. So
More or less.
More or less.
He tries.
More or less.
He tries.
So of me, Zoe, and Bren, who do you think will be able to save the world because of their video game skill?
Well, you play console.
Bro,
Excuse me.
You like tickling the sticks.
I'm not going to respond to that because I'm on the clock right now. We're going to move on to you. So it's not me. It's not
you. You're eliminated.
I'm eliminated.
You're
All right.
eliminated.
So you have Zoe and Bren left here. Who do you got?
I think Zoe. I think she's got
That's
the
a good
chops.
choice.
I think that
Thank
she's
you.
got the confidence.
Okay.
The flower jacket might be a little.
bro, what?
I don't know.
Josh, I've
I don't
known
know.
you 2 minutes. He's throwing shade at my jacket already in this wet.
This guy came in throwing shots at us. Yo.
I think you made a great
Unbelievable.
decision.
And we
Ouch.
made the same character, so we gotta.
Out. Yo, it don't matter. I'm still repping the console players. But hey, Josh, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, we got more action coming up after the half, so make sure you stay tuned. They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
right, welcome back, everybody. I could have listened to that halftime show forever. Josh Hutcherson, mad shout out to that guy. I'm a fan now, Hex. Are you a fan?
I like that he slaughtered floral shirts.
Slaughtered floral shirts, console players, goats. Just went down the line. This guy just filing on all barrels.
Yeah.
He's just lining them up. It was great. That guy, awesome. Love you. All right, we need to have him back. Let's get into the match, right? So right now, Philly Fusion up 2-0 versus the hometown heroes of the Valiant. Those wings, they're like fledgling wings. They're coming out of the, what is it?
If you push them out of the nest, they would just be hitting the dirt.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Exactly what would happen. It's not been pretty from Philadelphia. This is kind of Philadelphia style forever, though. They've never been the cleanest team. But last year they got carried by DPS duos and really good backline. I mean, just all over the place. They're just individual efforts. But in the 3-3, they're still holding their own. The Valiant consistently are out of position, making mistakes. The Valiant are so close every time. That's why I feel bad for the fans. That's why it's got to be so frustrating. Because it's not like, they're just getting rocked. We got to change stuff. It's like, if this team were just right there. That's my embodiment of Valiant.
Oh, man. Well, let's hope that they got through that dinner at Taco Bell.
Come on, man. Clean it up. Clean it up, Steph.
But that's all I can think about, though. It's just like, yes.
That's awful. Philadelphia on their defense is going to run pretty standard here. Now, when they flip to the offense, we'll see if they treat us to the 4 DPS.
I'm making myself laugh at this point.
Well, you're the only one.
Fusion. Let's see.
Well, Valiant not going to switch things up. It has been tried and true compositions. Well, tried, not necessarily true. They're going to run 3-3 with a Winston variation. Defensively, the exact same thing. Mirror composition.
There we go. What we saw in the first map. Nearly what we saw in the second map. And what we're about to see on the third, which happens to be Assault. So, missiles, very little damage being dealt. Both teams staring angrily at each other. And now it seems like, for a moment there, Fate wanted to do something about it. He was that guy, he was getting all rowdy, like, hold me back. And then, yep, sure enough, his team held him back. And Fusion are still looking for a way in. There we go. Carpe will catch Izayaki out.
First to die, Zenyatta, not great, but now they're pot committed here. They have to keep going. They're going to be up top here. I wonder if they're going to maybe just keep an eye on the doorway, send someone back for Izayaki. Now you lose Fate. Now it's time to either die or leave.
Looks like they're trying to do the latter, and they're doing a bit of the former as well. Kariv unable to get out with the rest of his team. And actually, I mean, out of them, that's the one you really want to get rid of. Now Kariv has no energy. He's going to have to build that back up again. Carpe will have a small edge in the Zarya v Zarya fight.
Fate's done a good job of getting at least Primal Rage partially charged up at 53%. But very patient play here from Philadelphia. Got a D.Va on the high ground, Winston on the low ground, just waiting to jump wherever the other team jumps. Counter engage will knock Fate low. He's got to sit on the corner, get healed up. Still waiting for a good engage for the Valiant here. Carpe sitting on that Graviton Surge.
Just doing his thing, launching in grenades. A little bit of a bubble there, just going to get topped up again, nearly at 100 energy. He's going to start melting face. However, Sato gets caught out, overextending there without a bubble to back him out. Perhaps some miscommunication on that side. Carpe going to try and turn it around, but the trance is used by Izayaki. He's going to keep his teammates up, and now the counter comes through here. Trance on the side of Boombox, but that's not going to save EQO somehow. It wears off. EQO caught out in the open, and that's certainly not going to help things here for the defense.
Valiant to punish the sloppy play right now with the Philadelphia Fusion, and that's what they needed to do. The dive in from Sato, that's not a miscommunication. He just got the bubble. He knew he was not getting a second one.
So what's that about?
And he still pushed forward. I don't know, but it was not great. Sato has not had his best day thus far. And now we'll see how they can hold up on the defense.
Right now the Fusion are doing too good a job of playing down to the Valiant's level.
Fate's going to switch it up. He's going to go to Reinhardt for this last push.
Interestingly enough, I mean, gives you the shield to kind of march behind. Shatter can be big. And, well, they are going to wrap around to the side. Valiant now. That's right, Kariv. Hello. Let's see. Fusion's certainly going to spot this out. Certainly going to rotate around, and they will be in position on the point to welcome the Valiant.
You don't really get surprised on defense on Assault maps, especially not Anubis here. You know exactly where the team's coming from, especially these compositions.
Sato not holding close. Oh, he already had Primal. Just goes leaping right in. Trying to cut the team in half. Has to be careful. Yes, the Discord Orb and the follow-up. Too good. He can't hang. When Kariva's got 94 energy going, he's just going to start melting your face. And that's exactly what happened.
It's 1,000 HP donated right into the ultimate fund of the Los Angeles Valiant. Sato's going to come back on Reinhardt, try to get it into the mix, but Valiant continue to clean up.
Hail Mary graph thrown out by Carpe. That's not going to get much out of it. They are getting picked off one after another, trying to buy time. Boombox invulnerable while the trance lasts, and the rest of his team still hanging in here, but the focus fire too good. Sato gets overwhelmed. Neptuno going to try and delay things a little further.
There's still wall riding. He gets an armor pack, and now that armor pack saved him long enough to get a sound barrier. It keeps the Philadelphia Fusion in the mix here.
Oh, buddy, we got Carpe. Yep, Carpe's on a McCree. This is big. Now we actually have some damage, and sure enough, he's going to start hitting the shots, and then gets taken for a ride into the wall. Fate.
It's actually okay, because the Hammond came out and bowled everybody outside the door. Now the swing back comes in, though. There's only 4 alive for the Valiant. They want to push in, want to try to assassinate, but the defender's advantage is so strong here. They want to get on the point to make sure they ensure second tick at the very least. Have it. Had it up to 99, actually, already. But now you've got the full fighting force of the Philadelphia Fusion back. Carpe's still on McCree, though.
What a touch-and-go situation. That definitely looked like there was a chance for the Valiant to get in and get the job done. But yeah, Carpe still alive on McCree. Like I said, man.
Well, they've reset at least the tank ultimates, though, and that's just almost never going to work.
Nope, but it was a nice try. Sound barrier got used, and now we have the trance thrown in by Izayaki because there's no grav to worry about. He's just going to go ahead and press forward to use it to initiate on the Fusion, and for now, it's just headshots galore, and all the kills coming in here for the Valiant. They certainly will. This has got to be it. Yes, there it is. They do manage to delay, and there will be success here for the Valiant. 2 points.
The offensive pressure was able to put enough on there that Sato had to switch to Hammond, reset his ultimate. The Valiant were able to capitalize on it.
Well, we're going to be taking a quick break, and when we come back, we will see can the Philadelphia Fusion do the same on their offense. There we have it. Welcome back. Yeah, you guys don't know. You guys don't know, but it was Gangnam Style playing during the break, and there we go. These guys were dancing to it. Everybody recognizes that part of the movie.
The problem is when you show any sort of emotion on the internet, everyone hates it. So I'm sorry for all the chat responses you
Yikes,
Yikes. You know what? I've been around the internet quite a while. Fate charges out right there, gets Carpe. I mean, it was a nice desperational. Look, that's how the Valiant are going to matches. Make less mistakes than your team. Philadelphia made a lot of mistakes there. Valiant capitalized. That's how it goes.
It's a question of whether Philly can just rally here. I mean, they are up 2-0 in maps. And now they just need to get a quick time. They have to tie it up. This is going to go back and forth so long as these teams have time in the bank.
But Philadelphia believes in their 3-3 here. As I mentioned, they have run a quad DPS strategy, which is not foreign to offense of Temple of Anubis. Now, perhaps if and when they take this first point, they'll switch into a Sombra offense for last, which is also something that Philadelphia has liked to do.
Oh, there we go. We are going to have to leap up to the high ground and space somehow. Oh, he cut Sato off. Nice delay there on the side of Fate. Fate leaping up to the high ground delayed the Fusion from rejoining their main tank. And Sato just cut off from the rest of his team, and now he's in a bit of a tight spot. Gonna go for the Winston to give him some mobility.
I'm not sure they had plans on rejoining. Sato fell off, and they're like, well, that's on you, bro. And then they're just sitting high ground still. It was kind of an interesting, but Sato, as I mentioned, they're a much better team when he's on Winston.
Nice focus there on Izayaki. Gets covered by the bubble, though, and Neptuno going to get caught out. That stun, no doubt, leading to his kill, leading to his death. Boombox going to get melted here by Kariv if he insists on taking this fight. And Kariv, the focus coming in from Poco. 2 big kills for the Fusion, but they lose Carpe. That's going to make it so much more difficult here to get follow-up.
But they are getting all of the follow-up that they need. Now just kind of a full-on cleanup. Space able to take down Sato again. He's the only one there. He's trying to remech now, trying to get some bonus out of the self-destruction, but it is all for naught. The reinforcement distance much better for Philadelphia. Although now there's all these weird squads around. There's a Diva Lucio hiding in Mega Pack Room. Winston's going to be able to come in and touch. The Valiant have the option to contest this, and they're going to go for it.
It looks like it. They're gathering in. Rally used here by Agilities just to close the distance faster. He needs to keep Fate alive. And Fate gets Primal in the nick of time. Just barely keeps himself in this. Agilities finds a kill on Sato. And now the Valiant taking the battle to him. Neptuno, however, will find the kill on Izayaki without him being able to use his trance. He's going to be regretting that one. But the sound barrier was up on Kuki's side, keeping Valiant alive for now.
That's still really close. A nice sound barrier from Neptuno. Graviton comes out. They're able to get one into it, and they will get space out of the fight. Now you've got a very charged up Kariv. He's got a grab of his own, trying to bring it back. That may be ill-advised. 3v3, can they fight it back?
Without Carpe there, it's definitely improving their odds on the Valiant side. Neptuno goes down once again, but we've got a Primal Rage Sato who's ready to punch people in the face. Izayaki now just going to come in with his trance. He's like, why not? Get in here, keep his team up, and it's looking like the Fusion having to give ground somewhat.
Yeah, they've got to back out. They didn't have the support to keep Sato alive. Sato could have stayed in a little too long and maybe knocked Izayaki about, but Izayaki will go down to EQO's hamster, who's creating a lot of space. Speaking of, space is the one who eats up that hamster. And this has been an interesting fight, is the professional nomenclature.
Yeah, a long, drawn-out one. Fate, hanging on by a thread, but Sato will find Agilities, cuts him off from the rest of the pack. And now they move in behind Pogo self-destruct. The rest of Fusion are going to set up shop here on the point. Now it gets tough here for the Valiant, especially if they lose Space. Space had a self-destruct, though, so that's not terrible. Looks like he will be able to remech as well, so that's actually going to give them a chance here on the Valiant side. Kuki gets flattened, though. That's not going to help.
EQO, and now on this unkillable hamster, if he even needs to, he can just drop the mines on the point. He might even consider saving it for a second. Now, we'll see if he sticks on it, because it can be very good to lock out a point. Unfortunately, Brigida's also very good. Now they're going to let him run it. I love this. You've got the ultimate. It's really good. If you can get high up on the Hammond with one of his grappling swings, you can cover nearly the entire point, and it gets very difficult for the Valiant to fight onto you. It's going for the angle.
Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Said the Valiant are going to go ahead and initiate on their own. Good damage getting cranked out here. Fate, at risk of getting overwhelmed, barely hangs on.
Space Ade Graviton during this.
Oh, you need to get the kill. You got to get the kill on Fate. Somehow Fate survives.
Nah, it's really smart play there. He got an allied shield. There was some healing there as well, so they keep him alive just barely. Sato falls, EQO falls, Valiant gonna hold.
They're gonna change it up now. EQO certainly gonna change off the Hammond at that point.
That's why Zari can be so frustrating to play against. You got someone down to 5 HP. They're hiding in the corner, and then they get allied shields, and then the healing comes through, and then you're facing 3 people on the target you thought you had isolated.
Oh, solid rally there from the Valiant. And I mean that in the sense that they came together, worked together as a unit.
Right. I was not confused. Agility's at 50% on his ability called Rally right there.
There we go. Hex for such a good team. Fusion. Speaking of teams, they're going to move together as a unit here, and Sato just runs himself into the wall, but somehow we find a kill on Fate in the meantime. Both Rhines out of the fight.
The Poco Bomb came through really quick there. Kuki is going to Sound Barrier to engage on this. Though they had the defender's advantage in this 5v5, they're going to push Philadelphia back into the corner. Philadelphia is just going to full-on retreat. They want to get back with a Rhine.
Yeah, get back behind the shield. I mean, trailing as far as ults are concerned right now, although Neptuno is going to have that sound barrier, so there's the one edge for the Fusion. And now, once he gets it online, if he can use it in this next fight, that may be what can tip it in their favor. Kariv has got his Grav online, though. And with no trance, Neptuno may have to hold on to the sound barrier in hopes of surviving it.
We'll see how the execution goes here. Philadelphia might just be trying to use an eco push. They're trying to bait stuff out, but the Valiant have been very patient on this. Carpe hits a big chunky right click there. He's going to get himself near his own Graviton. He's falling a little low though, has to retreat.
There we go. Grav online. Poco's no self-destruct, but now with the Grav, it could gather them all up together. Rally's going to be used by Agilities to bolster the rest of his team with that additional armor.
If you're Philly, you leave. You're Philly, you just leave. You're fine with it. Valiant only had to use one ultimate though, but you can't fight into that. You can't fight into it when you go down short-handed on the offense. The defender's advantage is simply too strong. You're never really going to bring that back. Not in this meta. You used to be able to try to ace it back with, you know, a Genji play or some sort of a Widow from the long distance and be able to carry, but not in 3-3 you can't.
No, every part of the machine is necessary for it to work in this case, Hex. Otherwise, it comes to a grinding halt and then it gets picked apart. We are going to have them moving forward. Carpe waiting patiently. Grav online on his side of things. We have the rally from EQ. We'll see if he decides to use it. Yep, there we go. Decides to use it for the initiate here to open it up for his team.
This one's all about execution right here. They both have similar ults. Space falls dangerously low. That shield looks like it got cracked.
Wanted to go for it there. I think Carpe, he saw his chance, and now he's going to be missing out on it. 55 seconds on the clock. You need to die quick here. If you're the rest of the Fusion, get out of dodge. Boombox literally just trying to die, and Izayaki's going to oblige him. I don't know if that was... whatever. You know, he got the kill, but...
I'd say that's about as bad as it could have gone for Philadelphia. Yeah. They used both of their support ultimates. In fact, all three support ultimates, as you see the percentages barely climbing up. Meanwhile, as long as Izayaki and Kuki stay alive and don't peek, Agility's also going to get there. When you're playing defense, your support ultimates mean that much more. The onus on the offense to try to make something happen. And if they use these correctly and they stagger them correctly, they can live forever.
Exactly right. So many tools here for the Valiant to use. Grav going to get thrown in by Carpe. Just a sneak attack. Trying to bring him in, but he's going to pay for it. EQO is gone. The fire is too good coming in here from the Valiant side of things. There is no follow-up. Instead, it's Agility. He's on a tear right now. 2 kills and a third. Izayaki going to chime in with a kill on Carpe, and it's looking to me, Hex, like the Valiant will find success here on the third map of this series. They're on the board.
2-1.
Crowd comes to their feet. The Valiant with good support, ultimate execution there, not using them all at the same time. Bit of an overlap, but worked out just fine for him.
Big that. Nice. Hey, McCree behind, Diva 1.
Go, baby.
Go, baby, fast. Nice.
Good job.
Nice.
Good job. It's okay.
No, what?
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You have them on your screen. The Los Angeles Valiant, they have succeeded in keeping themselves alive in this series, narrowly dodging out on defeat. So, looking focused, Agilities
not too bothered by the fact that Kareev left him hanging with the fist bump, but we're gonna get over that.
He's kind of side-eyeing him there.
Yeah,
He's like,
nice.
you
Like,
want to try it again? Yeah.
There it is. There it
Redemption.
is. But no, he denied him because he had the open fist, the open palm there. So,
Oh, yeah,
so agility's getting even.
I don't understand that kind of etiquette. Our next map will be Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Raha. There it is.
There we go. On his toes.
Now, the Los Angeles Valiant, this is their best map type, being pure escort. They are 2-0 on it. Some of those have come in lost series already, where maybe the team's not giving them their best effort on map 4. Sometimes happens, but this one, they're going to get everything Philadelphia has. Although I don't think Valiant have yet to play Route 66 particularly, so the map type is one of their best. We don't know what they're going to do on this map. I have a good idea what they're going to do.
Well, enlighten us, Hex. Don't keep it all for yourself.
I think there might be 3 tanks and 3 supports.
Get out of here.
There
Hex.
might be 3 tanks and 3
Yes,
supports on
don't
the other
Hex.
side.
Oh, buddy. What a shock. Do we have 3? We do. I count them.
Hey, no, we've got a Sombra on the field.
Stop it. But we're talking about the Valiant here.
I
Hex.
don't care,
We're
bro.
talking about the Valiant.
Variety's the spice of life. Don't deny me. I need
Okay,
this. I
fair
need
enough.
this.
I can never deny you, Hex. I can never deny you. Carpe, he got him right there. The Sombra. Doing his thing. Just, trying to work towards that EMP. And staying alive and just remaining, as a threat. I could potentially hack you. I could potentially silence you and not permit you to use your abilities. And so we see this happen more and more now where the teams kind of trade sides. Fusion holding way close to the... At risk, a nice
Sato.
initiate, but Sato survives. Looks like we nearly lost EQO as well.
Sato and EQO both dancing with death right there, able to waltz their way out of it, and now some progress being made as Philadelphia has to catch up to the card on defense.
And that was awkward. That was all kinds of awkward. This play might end up costing Philly the first point. If they're going to be able to get back into this fast enough, they should be able to, but that's a whole lot of progress here for the Valiant.
Well, and if those snowballs as well, all the damage was done by Fate and Izayaki there, and it is reflected in their ultimate charges. Both of those ultimates online. Poco has moved over to the Zarya in this mix, off of the Diva, which he's known for. Usually it's your Diva player that will play Sombra, so this is a little bit of an interesting wrinkle given the roster that Philadelphia has.
He isn't doing too shabby right now. Oh, there's a shatter, though. The trap was set, and they walked right into it.
The hands of Fate hit hard right there as he knocks everybody down. Carpe barely gets out with his life. He's going to get a mini pack, but they can't recontest this. Carpe just now getting to EMP. He almost got spotted out, actually, by Neptuno, but stays alive. Valiant trying to ride some momentum.
They're counting on it at this point, although we do have more and more of the key ultimates coming online here for the Fusion, so this should be a bit more of a straightforward battle. No chance to set up any plays here on the Valiant side, at least ones that would catch the Fusion off guard. Agility is going for the rally. Everybody getting that bonus. This is just going to get them more progress on the payload. Fusion. There's the EMP. Did he catch the targets he was looking for? Nope. Izayaki hiding in the corner. Has got Trance online. He was not silenced, and so that is forced. Going into the grab now. Will they have any kind of follow-up space with the self-destruct? Not going to find it, and the Fusion will come out on top.
The ultimate fiesta ends up going the way of the Philadelphia Fusion. Everybody used everything that they had there. You got to say, good play by Izayaki. I'm so impressed by Zenyatta's versus Sombras this season. It used to be a completely one-sided matchup, but Zenyatta's are just hide-and-go-seek world champions, always seeming to dodge these EMPs.
Isn't it like reminiscence of the old Mercy, Just like, where's the Mercy hiding?
We don't speak about
We don't speak about those times. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I can see the fear in your eyes there for a second, Hex, the pain. Sato, just a Hail Mary. He is going to lay agilities out, but it's not going to be enough. There will be no follow-up possible here, so the Fusion continuing to give ground. The Valiant content to press forward here, constantly getting a little bit of progress, meter by meter on this payload. And finally, Sato going to drop down to the low ground, rather.
That's piecemeal. Fate's got a shatter ready to go. So the moment he sees the Reinhardt out of position, huge EMP comes off, though. That one hits everybody on the Los Angeles Valiant. This should just be cleaned up, but slow going on the cleanup. They're going to get abilities back momentarily.
They got him back.
Yeah, unable to capitalize on it.
Agilities with the rally, I think that makes all the difference there. Izayaki might have died if it weren't for it, but we do have now Izayaki with the trance. They're just looking to end this fight. Poco going to go ahead and try and capitalize on this with a grab, but a counter grab coming out from Kareev grabs everybody on the Fusion side.
They clean it up. They use the Transcendence to keep everybody alive. Kuki just gets back into the fight. Another big shatter.
Oh, and Poco, Sato, both of them so low. This should definitely be a one fight now for the Valiant. Too many kills. They are suffering right now, the Fusion.
Right. And Kareev can just launch in gravitons whenever he feels like. He can launch it from across the map because there's no one there to deal with it.
Yeah.
You don't have a diva. There's no diva. That's the big downside of running these Sombra compositions, is that there's no fear for Kareev to do anything. Just launches everything in there. Right clicks are going to hit pay dirt. All projectiles are going to go through, so it's a give and take. And so far, the Philadelphia Fusion have not capitalized on the value of these EMPs. That was a huge EMP. Got 6. They got 1 kill out of it.
Yeah.
And then Kuki's back in the fight anyway because he's Lucio.
Yeah. It's a tough situation here for the Fusion. The Valiant, though, well, there we go. Once again, EMP through. And we are going to get a couple of kills off the back of it here for the Fusion. Valiant, however, will just give ground, but they have plenty of time on the clock. 3 minutes on the clock here for the Valiant, so they shouldn't be feeling too sad about that. Curious to see if Carpe stays on the Sombra for this final point.
It doesn't look like he has any designs on changing it just yet. Trying to get hacks on, trying to farm it back up, being really annoying on the high ground behind the enemy team. Could always translocate to a safe spot. So
And there you go. He keeps himself alive, intact, in one piece.
I mean, it's been pretty hit or miss. That was a big EMP. Helped them win the fight. So
Well, Trance is here, and it's going to go down perfectly timed here to counter out the grab. Poco going to be frustrated with the results there. Sato dropping low, but he will get topped up again. Boombox with a trance of his own. Delayed just long enough to try and take advantage of it. There's the shatter on a Kareev. Any follow-up possible? Too many bodies in the way. And now it's going to be the sound barrier thrown in here by Kuki. Neptuno's used theirs as well. And this is just a standoff where the Fusion continue to give ground, but not kills. That's the important bit. Although that's certainly going to change. There we go. Poco caught out in the open. Kareev going for the solo grab. That's a high-value target if ever there was one.
He's just going to walk in on it. 90%. He gets himself a bunch of kills. This just seems really, really, I guess Brent said, shaky, sloppy on both sides. They're not executing combos. They're not getting the disposition they need on Rhines to get these big bombs. It's just last team with an ultimate up seems to win.
Yes, exactly right. This is Pug style Overwatch, what we're seeing here. All out chaos.
Huge hack.
And that's a big one again. He is going to get quite a few, but there are too many bodies on the point for the Valiant, and they will find all 3 points.
Agility's already had his rally going as a desperation EMP. No use taking it with you, but the EMP was hit or miss. Mostly miss, I thought. It came down to the streets phase.
I guess it did miss, huh?
Yes. What am I missing?
Okay.
You always look at me with these weird looks, and I'm like, what? Sometimes I'm slow. Leave me alone.
The question is, does he have a girlfriend? But, let's move on. It is going to be the switch. And it will be a successful push here for the Valiant. And right now, the Fusion, yeah, both of these teams, I think you make the perfect point. It's just that they're throwing ults out. Whoever tends to have the last one tends to win out in the end. Or you just get solo grabs onto Poco. That works too. Izayaki has Zenyatta stats on the board.
Yeah, only 2 deaths is very good, especially against a Sombra composition there, where Zen, if he gets hit by an EMP, loses all of his shields, goes on to 50 HP, just a wisp in the wind, waiting to be carried away. Space also didn't die that map. The only person in the server who didn't die. It's very nice to have your diva up the entire time. To be able to check for that Sombra, just firing into blank air. If you see Space just spinning in circles, it's because when diva or when Sombra takes damage, she gets revealed. Generally invisible. Term that, just called spy checking, really. Sombra, I think we can call a spy. Espionage is her craft.
Indeed. Gaining information. Hacking the planet. Fusion, don't get your hopes up. Poco is just on the Hanzo. Probably going to put a Sonic Arrow out there.
You Sonic Arrow the train.
There it is.
Make sure you know where they are.
There it is.
It used to be that if a team got caught out there, it was just over, but now this is just where teams fight on Route 66. On almost all escort maps, actually. You just fight the moment that the cart's available, be pushed.
Yep. Very close holds. And well, here we go. Trading places. Poco now going to be pressing forward, and they are going to take the fight to him. Agilities will get focused down the Discord orb just too much, but Sato might have overstepped.
That Carpe is able to take down Fade as well, and this is it's so back and forth. And obviously, it's attacker's advantage at this point. The spawn is right there in the diner. They're going to try to get a couple kills. Now they're going to give up ground and try to keep people alive whilst doing so. It's very difficult to pull off. Now Space got demacked, and then he is out of there as well. Kuki going to try to ferry his team back to safety, going all the way back, perhaps picking up the rest of his team before they want to fight.
Yeah, that's probably going to be it. Get out onto the high ground. It looks like Kariv is already rotated up there along with the rest of them. But at least they're up there quick this time. It's not like Sato had a shatter, but there will be no attempts at shenanigans here. Instead, it's going to be Fusion just getting boosted right in. Nice boop, though, going to separate them at least a little bit. Neptuno trying to get in with a boop of his own, not quite going to find it.
Neptuno's got to get out, getting chased. Gets back to his team. Very mechanically gifted Lucio. Still getting some free push on the cart, Philadelphia. They're going to have Graviton online. This one's going to be very much about execution.
Carpe's going to go under. Yep, he's going to go under. He's going to put it right into the roof. And now, no way to D-Matrix that. No self-destruct follow-up, though. And Neptuno going to be the one to pay. Good shields in play here for both teams, mitigating the self-destruct damage. But we've lost one on the Fusion sides. Make that 2. Fate goes down, but it might be too little too late here. And the Fusion are getting overwhelmed. Valiant really waking up here in this series.
And Neptuno was trying to get all up in that business so he could dislodge the Reinhardt shield. It's one of the dangers of your Lucio. If you can really time it correctly, you want to give that Lucio the bubble, if at all possible, or have him sound barriered or transcended or something to help him out so he's not in harm's way, because he's got to get close up to use those displacement abilities. In that case, he got none of the allied abilities. He just got a hammer to the face.
Never a pleasant experience. Especially in a hallway.
Hammer in a hallway, not great. Neptuno does have his sound barrier up as a GUI. Like, you know where the Los Angeles Valiant are going to hold. You hold that rooftop because it doesn't allow the cart to push. Agilities takes out his opposing number. Sato so low, Carpe so low.
And this is a Valiant all of a sudden that are working together.
That's an amazing fight because EQO, I believe, ended up using Rally there. He's nothing. And it went so quick that Philadelphia is not even able to gain alt charge or anything. They ended up having to use Sound Barrier from Kuki, but it paid off. If you can win fights using one ultimate, you do every time.
Exactly, and now you still have the edge. They're still strangled on the side of the Fusion. Fate, however, with that shatter, could really throw a wrench in things. 40 seconds left on the clock in the Fusion.
Yeah, they have to take high ground here. They know where Valiant's heading up. Again, everyone sets up here on the defense because it does not allow the cart to push.
Well, a couple of swipes there of the hammers. Sato having to give ground, but they will eventually fall to the low ground. There's the catch out. EQO will get bubbled up. Carpe there to keep his teammate up. But this whole time, Fusion are not on the payload. It's actually backing up.
There's a 0 value sound barrier used in that fight.
Yeah, didn't really get too much out of it. We have just grab on grab, but no real follow-up. Just trading 1 for 1 so far.
Grieve went down really early, though. It's a terrible first loss. Now they're going to have to try to separate people out without a Zarya to try to figure this out. Space going to get his remake going, and a bonus Neptuno on top.
Unreal the entire time. The Fusion, all despite it's not happening anywhere near the payload. So Los Angeles Valiant tying up the series 2-2. Really figured it out here on these past 2 maps, and now we have to see, are they going to redeem themselves for the first map of this series? Control is where we go next after the break. The wings are out in the studio here today as the Valiant have redeemed themselves, or nearly have. They've tied up the series 2-2. It's possible that they could get the reverse sweep on the Philadelphia Fusion here, Hex.
Got to go to control to do it, but this place will erupt if they're able to pull it off and get their first victory of Stage 1. It's a team that has been so close all throughout. It's been so close, but no cigar, and now they can taste sweet victory.
It has been a dire scenario here. But fate, that's the thing. Perhaps he can read, he can see into the future. He knows what's going to happen. It may be the W, the long sought-after win here for the Los Angeles. They're stepping up on individual levels. It feels like they were able to execute a bit better as well on Route 66. Fusion are the ones that cause concern here. They are definitely falling apart on their side, and I'm really wondering what is going on that roster.
It just looks a little bit sloppy all throughout. And in 3-3, it's not really complicated rocket science. Sometimes it takes you like frame by frame to break down what happened in every single fight,
Sure.
which is impossible to do on the fly. But essentially, it's the team that makes fewer mistakes and uses their ultimates in better position.
I mean, it's rock, paper, scissors. Oh, they use that. I'm going to use this. And
Right.
then they're going to use that. And then I'm going to use this. And then, oh, no, we're out of ults. I guess they win the fight.
For the most part, neither of these teams has executed the combinations perfectly. Like, even when they get the Lucio in there, he gets hammer hit in the face and unable to displace the Reinhardt. Bubbles have been good. Some bubbles have been sloppy. Positioning has been good. Positions have been bad. This is one that I like to slow down and go through frame by frame to see exactly what's going wrong. But doesn't matter now. We're going to control. It's going to be our tie-break map. So all for naught. It is dead even. And the Valiant need this. They need it so badly. They're out of the Stage 1 playoffs, but let's remind people, Philadelphia needs this for the Stage 1 playoffs.
Yes, they are still in the running. They cannot afford to be losing to the Los Angeles Valiant. You can't lose to a team that's been eliminated from the playoffs, and that's cause for concern. You're not really here to lose. So, Philadelphia Fusion, they've got something to fight for here. The Valiant, they've got the long game in mind. They've talked about it in the past, ironing out wrinkles and some such. I mean, they're still, it's tough, but if they lose out in the Stage 1, the overall playoffs are looking grim.
Yeah, you'd lose. I mean, to get back to 500, you'd have to go undefeated in the second stage, right?
Yeah.
So I still think you might see some shakeups incoming for the Valiant, because even if they win here, you're still 1-5, and it hasn't looked great, hasn't looked decisive. It doesn't look like you figured it all out just yet. But you do need to get that 0 off the board so you can just start moving forward mentally. Let us go to lovely Busan as
What
we
is
try
that?
to break our tie. I don't know.
That is the stuff of nightmares, Hex. Where did they get that from? I do appreciate that, though. It's been a while since the observers have tried to shock us. Keep it up, boys. Keep it up.
All right, now I think both teams with so much on the line are not going to give us any kind of tradition, any variation. Maybe when we get to Mecha Base, which is by far my favorite stage of this stage, anyway. And there we go. The Valiant have only reverse swept once before. The Fusion have twice. So we shall see which one improves on their record here.
The Fusion have also shown that they can fight back in these scenarios, in these map 5 scenarios, and losing Sato first off is not going to help things here for him. Fate has nearly got the primal. He gets eliminated, though. Picked off, traded. The main tanks, both of them out of this fight. So it's a 5-on-5. Things could get interesting here. We still have Carpe alive. Kareev dropping so low. Where's the follow-up?
That's hard to get the follow-up there when there's this many healers on the field. Philadelphia taking a small early advantage, but this one's not going to be over until the fight begins. Fate comes in on the Hammond, gets a nice disruption in and out. Just so hard to deal with here. You're not expecting it, but a beautiful stun bash there. EQO really should get credit for that kill.
Wow, and Sound Barrier thrown into boot. And the grab. Fusion want to win this fight hands down, and they will do so. Dropping bodies, Kuki out of it for the Valiant, and now we lose Kareev as well. That's got to be it.
That's how long it's gone on, and Poco got demech'd, but he's just blasting away. He's going to get a new mech call down momentarily.
Ooh, styling! Okay then, Carpe. Get up on that high ground. There we go.
Izayaki peeks past the shield just one, space out of it.
Where does he go?
All the way back to spawn. EQO, perhaps a little bit aggressive there. Well, definitely a little bit aggressive there.
That was sick.
They've got full control of the point, though. They could back up all the way. They could just wait for EQO. It's going to be a while before he gets back here. Not sending the Lucio to actually looking for a flank shatter.
Out right on through. There it is. Shatter in their faces. Utilities. Doesn't matter if you get a bubble, and it's not going to save space either.
That's
One
such a
fight.
It's such a great play to call when you're down a man and you're not going to go back and get him, because if that fails, then he probably gets the bubble and maybe Sato lives, and you just back out a little bit.
Yeah.
You play a little further back, you're already in control. Maybe you send somebody in to touch the point, play tap dance on it so you don't give it all the way back, but it's the perfect time to call that play.
They're showing a bit of their old fight here, Fusion. 3 ults online for them. Carpe nearly got the grab as well. So let's see. Valiant sticking together, moving in behind their tank Fate, waiting for him to lead them in. And it's just the patience. Who's going to overextend here? And there it is. Kariv going for the setup. Grab hidden behind the pillar. Looking for the follow-up now. Space with the self-destruct. Doesn't get a kill. We'll get the Carpe grab thrown in now as well with the trance of their own. Hugi getting slammed into the wall. He's out of it. Massive shatter, though. That's the play. Sato laying him out.
It took Sato 4 maps to reach his form, but this is a redemption tour if I've ever seen one. Was not playing great earlier, was the first death on this tiebreaker map too, but since then, 2 ridiculous Earth Shatters have put Philadelphia in great position.
Yeah, he's averaging a shatter a minute at this point, so he is definitely on point. Oh, let me see, 96%. This is going to be it for the Valiant. Fate's got a shatter of his own online. Space going to get stunned immediately, and here's the sound barrier, so they're looking to obviously take the fight to him.
Yeah, Philadelphia's play passive until these support ultimates come on time.
And they do wait out the sound barrier as well. You want to fight? We're just going to hide. That's fine. You guys go ahead and do your thing.
Sound barrier should come down right now. Boombox is going to have Transcendence off of this as well.
Yeah, Fate is going in. Gets stunned out of his shatter. No shatter possible, and it will be the Fusion. Coming out ahead in this fight. Kariv now just going for the hero grab into the pillar, but there's no follow-up possible, and this will be the first point for the Philadelphia Fusion.
EQO had a monster map there as well. It goes back to being able to stun the Hammond and then being able to get that stun too. I think he's a very capable Brigitte. It's so hard to find great Brigitte play just because the mechanics required from her, but the timing is there. He knows when to be aggressive. He knows when to be passive. And Philadelphia overall did a great job of pulling back, waiting for support ultimates, and making sure they won that last fight.
Exactly right. Now we're seeing a bit of the Philly that we saw at the beginning of this series when they handily won. First time on control, first map of this series. So Philadelphia Fusion now match point, and I'm not getting it wrong this time, Hex. It is in fact match point. They could end this series right here. It's on the Valiant now to find it within themselves to keep them in this series.
Okay. Small variation in the compositions. Philadelphia choosing to run Sato on the Reinhardt. When why wouldn't you after the Reinhardt he just had there? Fate is on the Winston.
Carpe right into the thick of things, and there's Space finding EQO. Finally, the Valiant gets something to go their way.
Yes,
opening kill is going to make a big difference.
This one's absolutely over. They're going to try to retreat and save as many lives as possible, but Space is going to make sure that doesn't happen for Boombox at least. And that's a great opening kill onto EQO. I didn't see if he got pushed into them or was just being a little too aggressive. Does not matter either way. Agility's got in there, though. He's got 70% on rally.
He's looking good. And while as far as Carpe is concerned, still a little bit of a ways to go, but he is ahead in the grab race. So now the fight coming through here from both sides. EQO, Sato dropping low, but they're going to hang in there. Welcome everybody tuning in on Disney. We are live with Match 5. This is match point for the Philadelphia Fusion versus the Los Angeles Valiant, and this is a match of Overwatch.
Now Philadelphia trying to keep their Stage 1 playoff hopes alive, while the Los Angeles Valiant just trying to find their first win of the season.
So, Philly getting into the thick of things here. Ult's online now. Carpe, they're going to trade it back and forth. Self-destruct over the top. Lands right on top of them, but Fate, he's a strong guy. Keeps his team safe. We do lose Space and Cookie as well here for the Valiant. And they have succeeded in flipping the point throughout all of this fight. The Fusion now are the ones gaining percentage.
Fusion better win this fight. They just use so many ultimate abilities, and they use Sound Barrier and the Rally at the exact same time. It does seem like they are finally cleaning it up, though. They will do just that. 43% on the board for the Valiants. They need to retake this. If they lose this stage, they lose the map, and thus the series.
Boombox has got to just hold on to that trance right now. Glowing check mark at the top of your screen. These are ultimate abilities that the players farm up by doing damage, by healing each other. And so, obviously, a bit stronger than their normal abilities that you would see in action here. So, Boombox, he's got a fight-changing ultimate. online. He needs to be careful about when he decides to use it. Maximum benefit, that's what he's looking for.
You have to use it reactionarily. You know that Kariv is going to be nearing his ultimate,
never
but
mind.
they just use it to initiate.
Yeah, they're going to just go ahead and charge in behind it, and it may pay dividends. Fate gone immediately, but we lose Boombox in the trade. Kuki is here, and Izayaki as well. The back line for the Valiant is getting assassinated, and now it's Philadelphia Fusion. Despite it all, they're pushing forward.
Neptuno just finds Agilities and puts him in the corner. Meanwhile, Kariv is trying to battle back on these tanks. Everyone very low for Philadelphia. They're getting pushed back. Valiant are taking control of the point on this King of the Hill style map mode.
So will flip, despite it all. Looked beneficial there for Fusion, or it looks like they were in the lead, but they do decide to back off and reset for the fight. And once again, on the high ground, once again, staring each other down. Grabs thrown in, and this time going to try and get him to turn the wrong way. That's not going to happen. Sato instead eats a massive shatter, and Space is there to collect the kill. This is the Valiant battling back, 60% and counting for them.
A great play from Fate there to be able to shatter the opposing Reinhardt, keep his shield up, and make sure that his team is not vulnerable to the self-destruct. Make sure that he himself stays alive and shield capable. And now they're going to try to hold the doorway at 78%. One more fight, and we're going to stage 3 of our definitive tiebreak.
Yeah, going the distance. Entirely possible. Once again, Grab gets thrown in here. In Fusion, they don't have the support ultimates online yet. Neptuno gonna go ahead and throw it out there. The sound barrier, it's pretty much the final fight anyway, and so why not try and go for the Hail Mary play? But it's not meant to be this time. Kariv fully charged up, just ready to melt them.
The Hail Mary not caught in the end zone that time. Now they're just trying to throw everything they've got on it. EQO gets a single kill onto Agilities, but this one should be all Valiant. A Doomfist comes in, an emergency Doomfist, taken out.
Taken out immediately. Poco with the last second contest. Anybody else here for the team? Hammond hiding on the other side of the wall. We'll go ahead and try and stay alive. It's not meant to be, and this is going to be it. We will have a tied situation going into the final point of this series, and the home team fans going wild.
They're hungry for a win, and you can feel it up here in the Caster's Nest as well. I'm rooting for them a little bit. I just want the fans to be happy at the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. I don't like when a team has 0 wins. You know, get something on the board. Get that goose egg off the board.
It's been pretty bleak lately, so can't blame them, no doubt about it. But now, let's see. Will the Valiant hold? Or will the Fusion dash the fans' dreams on the ground?
All comes down to this. First team to get to 100% and fully control the point will take the entire series. Played for a while just to come down to one last stage.
And we already got the change once again. Fusion electing to go with the Rhine play here on Sato. He did show a very capable Rhine earlier on the first point of this best of 3.
The stats do bear out that Philadelphia wins more fights when he's on Winston, though. So this has to be a gut feeling kind of play.
Yeah, just standing off right now, looking for someone to step out of line, looking for somebody to overextend. And the point is about to unlock, and so this is going to be it. Now the go signal, Sato still hanging in, but he will get caught, pinned against the wall by Space. Carpe hanging on by a thread, but they're not going to worry about that with him so low while he's back topped up again.
They trade off. Boombox able to take down Fate. That first kill from Boombox is usually so important for Philadelphia. However, the Valiant will capture first point. Fate is coming back on the Hammond to make sure he can contribute to the fight faster than Sato's Reinhardt can.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if it pays off. EQO finally takes down Cookie. Fate just up to 1 billion HP. He's going to be a real thorn in their side until he starts getting smacked around like a pinball. He's out of there.
The rally comes out for the Valiant. Philadelphia also commits a Transcendence, so a lot of healing abilities, healing ultimates already used for Philadelphia. They've taken control of the point back.
Yeah, no stun. This is the thing. They're not quite sure how to play against this Hammond. But Carpe finding Agilities. No, and another big kill coming through. That's 3 in the blink of an eye here for the Fusion. And so they will continue to extend their lead. 25% on the point and counting. That's the thing with that Hammond. You know, he rolls in, and you're just looking, where's EQO? Where's the stun? Where's the instant punish on him? He keeps rolling out of there.
It is going to be on EQO to be able to shut down that Hammond. However, Fate did switch back to a Reinhardt, giving up a lot of his ability too. As you see, Sato has Earth Shatter. Hit the hammer on the ground. If the team doesn't block it, they all hit the ground after.
Boombox almost hit the ground there. That was close. He gets topped up again. That would not have been a good start for his team in this upcoming fight. Poco's got to be careful, but he's going to be there. And we will have the contest now on the point. Sound barrier used to initiate. Philadelphia trying to back off and give ground. Throw in the sound barrier of their own. As far as health is concerned, it's Kuki. He's got none. Self-destruct just thrown into the open by Poco. More to clear the point than anything, it seems, because Sato, in the meantime, is finding the kills for his team.
All the credit in the world to the Philadelphia supports. Sato was on the brink of elimination right there. They were able to keep him alive, and now it is last fight time for the Los Angeles Valiant. They have to win this fight and regain control of the point. Otherwise, Philadelphia will reach 100 and win the map, win the set.
Tough one for Space there, having to sack his ults for the fresh mech, not wanting to waste any time at all.
Carpe's almost got grab. He can lock him out before they even get to the point.
Rally's used. Speed boost is through. Boombox with the trance. They know that Kareev doesn't have a grab, so he's going to use it now. And Sato now already started the fight off strong. If you can remove Carpe, and you do! Big kill coming in for Izayaki. No grab possible here for the Fusion. Nearly succeeded in flipping the point here on the Valiant side. Both teams bouncing back and forth, and now it's Izayaki with the trance online. This fight has gone on long enough where it might turn in the Valiant's favor, and they will succeed in flipping the point.
Just barely at the end. Carpe stunned out and eliminated before he could use his Graviton Surge. Now, Valiant must hold the rest of this stage. Kareev, Graviton up. Carpe, Graviton up. Earth Shatters up for both teams.
It's wild with these fights going so long. It's like, Boombox, you just used your trance. Oh, wait, hold on, you're at 75% on the next one.
I think Philadelphia should play this slow because they are way ahead in their support ultimates from their Lucio, their Zenyatta, and their Brigitte. I think they can just slow push this, try to sustain as much as possible, and go in with 6 ultimates before the Valiant have any chance to defend themselves.
Oh, Carpe could try and hide the grab behind the wall instead. Yep. Oh, he gets eaten! In the D-Matrix, Carpe not paying attention to where the Diva was playing from. No grab here to end this fight. But he is fully buzzing right now on the energy, and Space gonna get D-Max. This is looking grim. Now 3 alive on the point. Rally used as well. And they are gonna quickly overwhelm Kareev, pin him against the wall. Izayaki goes down on his own. We have a Hammond in it now on Fate, but he could get focused immediately. Somebody needs to tell EQO to turn around and stun that guy.
He's got to roll out. Now it's just going one by one out of the point. Kuki will fall.
No, this is going to be it. The big moment now. Charging onto the point. Agility's just contesting for a little bit more time, but it is looking like the Philadelphia Fusion will be the ones winning out in this series, having gone the distance. 5 points, 5 maps, all of it for the Fusion as they continue to contest. Valiant are just getting picked off, and it's only going to delay the inevitable as the Philadelphia Fusion will win. Map 5, 3-2, the final score.
Heartbreak for our Valiant fans in the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. The home team still remains winless on stage 1. The towel says it all. Our few Philly fans hope still alive for the stage 1 playoffs.
They're looking good. That was a must win. That is a must win if you are looking to make it to the stage 1 playoffs. And the Philadelphia Fusion, at least now they can wipe the sweat off their brows. I mean, smiles, but I think of relief, really. You know, that got way too close here for the Fusion. They've got to get home and work on that mental headspace.
Yeah, the Fusion did not play perfectly, but when have we ever seen the Fusion play perfectly? They represent their city. They're scrappy, they're gritty, they're brawlers, and somehow, in the 12th hour, they find a way to pull off victories.
I mean, as far as this match, as far as this match is concerned, the Philadelphia Fusion still figuring it out, but we do have an interview. Mika Burton's got Neptuno on the ground.
Thanks, guys. I got Neptuno here, and give it up for Neptuno, everybody, Philadelphia Fusion fans. So, everybody's been a little bit concerned, but clearly your wrists are getting better because you played very well today. So, how has that recovery process been, and are you feeling pretty confident with your wrist skills?
I mean, right now it's pretty good. But it was like really painful at the beginning. I couldn't move it, but right now it's really good so I can play.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear it, and congratulations on your recovery. So your next match will be the last one of the stage. Is there any pressure going into that? Do you have any nerves? Like, what's the process going into this last match that you have?
I mean, we don't have any pressure. I think we are playing pretty good. I mean, we still need to improve a lot, but we're pretty confident we're going to win this match, so...
All right, well, confidence is key, so I hope that you do well, and everyone know everybody's rooting for you, and that's